Hello everyone, welcome to grade 4. I'm Miss Manal Yahya. I'll be teaching grade 4A. Mrs. Nasha Hunter will be teaching grade 4B. We are going to make our best to make everything clear for you and easy. Today we are going to start by the first online lecture for this year, for this semester. Of course, we are going to make a lot of revision for the lessons that you have taken last year. And we are going later to start by new objectives. Till now, I'm going to make a quick revision for a chapter that you have already taken last year, which is multiplying by 10. So, starting first by listing the objectives. At the end of this video, you will be able to multiply whole numbers by 10, and also you are going to multiply whole numbers by multiples of 10. So let us start. So what are multiples of 10? The multiples of 10 are the numbers you get when counting by 10. So if you have 10, count by 10, you are going to get 20. Then count by another 10, you are going to get 30, and so on. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and so on. So the multiples of 10 are the numbers you get when you count by 10. There's a song that says, "Zero is the hero. He just won't stop. All you do is to count him." At the top, you add those zeros to the basic fact, and you will get the answer just like that. If you are interested, we are going to play this song.
If you want to multiply a number by 10, all you have to do is put a 0 on the end. If you want to multiply a number by 10, all you do is put a 0 on the end.
Alright kids, let's say our 10 times table.
Let's do it! 10 times 1 is 10. 10 times 2 is 20. 10 times 3 is 30. 10 times 4 is 40. 10 times 5 is 50. 10 times 6 is 60. 10 times 7 is 70. 10 times 8 is 80. 10 times 9 is 90. 10 times 10 is 100. 10 times 11 is 110. 10 times 12 is 120. If you want to multiply a number by 10, all you have to do is put a 0 on the end. If you want to multiply a number by 10, all you do is put a 0 on the end.
Now let's start with 1 times 10 and go up.
Let's go! 1 times 10 is 10. 2 times 10 is 20. 3 times 10 is 30. 4 times 10 is 40. 5 times 10 is 50. 6 times 10 is 60. 7 times 10 is 70. 8 times 10 is 80. 9 times 10 is 90. 10 times 10 is 100. 11 times 10 is 110. 12 times 10 is 120. If you want to multiply a number by 10, all you have to do is put a 0 on the end. If you want to multiply a number by 10, all you do is put a 0 on the end.
It's the 10 times table, y'all. It's the end of the song, and really that's all. It's the 10 times table, y'all. It's the end of the song, and really that's all.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. We're counting by 10s.
Have you ever wondered how a frog grows up? First mommy and daddy frog fall in love.
So after watching this video, you will be able to solve any exercise. So how can Zero the Hero help you? So every time you have to multiply the 10 by any number, you have to directly put the 0 to the right. So how many zeros I have here? 1 0. So I directly put it to the right side. And 1 times 4 is 4. So 10 times 4 is 40. The same thing you are going to do whenever you are multiplying 10 by any number, whether it was 1 digit, 2 digits, or more than 2 digits. Another example, so you have here 10 times 2. So you directly put the 0 to the right and you multiply 1 by 2 is 2. So the result of multiplying a number by 10 is obtained by adding the 0 to the right of the number. If you look at this multiplication table, you have 1 times 10 is 10, 2 times 10 is 20, 3 times 10 is 30. Continue. 11 times 10 is 110, 12 times 10 is 120, 13 times 10 is 130. Did you notice anything about the zeros? So if you look at all those numbers, they all have a 0 at the right. Why? Because we are multiplying by 10. So we directly put the zeros to the right and we put the numbers as they are. Now we are going to watch another video. It's very interesting. Watch it till the end and then we are going to continue explaining.
Hey!
And now, after watching the video, we are going to solve more exercises. So if you look at this one, we have 56 times 10. So the first step is to multiply 56 by 1, as you can see, so it's 56. And then you put the 0 to the right. So add a 0 to the right of the number. Only one 0 because I'm multiplying only by 10. Now, if you can look at this one, we have 310 multiplied by 10. So I multiply 310 by 1, we get 310, and then you add the 0 to the right of the number. So whatever you have here, you just multiply it by 1, you put the number as it is, and then you add the 0 to the right of the number. Now we have 500 times 10. You also multiply 500 by 1, which is 500, and then you add a 0 to the right, so it becomes 5,000. So the first step is to multiply the 500 by 1, and the second step is to add 0 to the right of a number. Now, how do I decompose multiples of 10? You know that 70, it's a multiple of 10. How can I know? Because we have a 0 to the right of the number. So it's a multiple of 10. So 70 was 7 times 10. So we decompose it. We put the numbers to left side and the zeros to the right side. So it's 7 times 10. So we are going to have a lot of examples. So as I told you, for example, if we have 530, it's a multiple of 10. How did we know? Because we have 0 to the right. So I just decompose the numbers alone, which is 53 times 10. How did we know that we have 10? Because I have here a 0 to the right side. Another example, 130. So this is a multiple of 10. How did we know? Because we have 0 to the right of the number. So we decompose the number alone and the zeros alone. So here we have 13 times 10. Let us look at these examples. So 80, it's 8 times 10. 520 is 52 times 10. So all of these are multiples of 10. How did we know? Because we have 0 to the right. So if you look at the last example, this is the 0 that we are going to put alone, and this is the 10. This is the number. So 10 times 10. Now we are going to talk about something which is called order of operations. You know that the operations are addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. Those are the operations. We also have another operation which is the parentheses or the brackets. We are going now to order the operations. Where do I start first? Where do I start? Then where do I continue? So you have to know that we have order of operations. Order to start by. Okay? If you look at this equation, we have 3 times 10 in a parenthesis plus 5 times 10 in the parenthesis. So what you have to do is to do everything inside the parenthesis first. So the order or who always win is the parenthesis. So you have to do everything inside it. So if you multiply 3 times 10, you are going to get 30, which is a multiple of 10. If you multiply 5 times 10, you are going to get 50. And then after multiplying, if you look at the new equation here, we have 30 plus 50. So you can only add those numbers. It's very easy to add them. You just order them. This is 30, this is 50, okay? And you can add them. You start by the 0. 0 plus 0 is 0, and 3 plus 5 is 8. And you can do them mentally by only adding 3 plus 5, which is 8, and you put a 0. So let us go for another example. And here we go for the second exercise, or the second example. So we have 9 times 10 in a parenthesis minus 4 times 10 in a parenthesis. As I told you before, the parentheses always win. So I'm going to start by the parentheses. Okay, so I need to do everything inside and then we subtract. Okay, so according to the order, the parentheses always win. Now 9 times 10, it's 90. 4 times 10 is 40, and they are separated by a minus, so I need to subtract 40 from 90. So 90 minus 40 is 50. So we only subtract 4 from 9, which is 5, and then we put the 0. Or you can place them like this: 90 minus 40. I wish you understand everything in this lecture. And now we are going to learn something which is called smile multiplication. Why did we call it smile multiplication? Because actually when you multiply the numbers 8 and 2, they form like a smile. So 8 times 2 is 16, and then you put the 0 of the 8, you put it on the right side. So to make things easy for you, you multiply the numbers, then you add the zeros. Let us take another example. Suppose you have 50, okay, times 3. What you do is to multiply the numbers 5 and 3. It's like a smile. It's 15. Then you look, how many zeros do you have? You have only one zero, so you put it to the right. So 50 times 3 is 150. And a direct application about what we have taken, the smile multiplication. So as I told you, you multiply only the numbers 3 times 4, which is 12, and then you put the 0 to the right. The same thing in the second one. 2 times 9, the smile multiplication, it's 18, and then you add the 0 to the right. 1 times 70, you multiply 1 by 7, and you add the 0 to the right. 5 times 6, it's 30, so you put a 30, then you add the 0 to the right side, so you get 300. There is one more video to go, and then we will be done. So watch our last video.
Multiplying by multiples of 10. If you are asked to multiply 4 by 2, you will find the result quickly because you can use repeated addition. Or use the multiplication table. But what if instead you needed to find the result of 4 multiplied by 20? You can add 20 4 times, which might take time. Our multiplication table goes only up to 10. So we can't find the result simply by looking up the table. What should we do? Any number that ends with a 0 is called a multiple of 10. So 20 is a multiple of 10. It ends with a 0, and we can think of it as 2 tens or 2 times 10. We can think of our problem as multiplying 4 by 2 tens. How many tens will we have? It will be 8 tens. 8 tens can be written as 80, which is the same as multiplying 4 by 2 and then putting a 0 after finding the product. We can do this trick for any multiple of 10. So if we need to multiply a number, say 5, by a multiple of 10, say 30, we just multiply the number by how many tens we have. 30 is equal to 3 tens. So 5 times 3 equals 15. Then we put a 0 after finding the result. Our final answer equals 150. In this lesson, you learned about multiplying numbers by multiples of 10.